Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've been here, but I have to say it feels great to be home. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Jacinda Walker. I'm a designer, instructor, and entrepreneur who loves working for the advancement of young people. I was raised in Europe till about the sixth grade with my five brothers and sisters. My father is a military man, and my mom, who was a super creative woman, worked as a hairstylist, but she could also sew, crochet, cook, and draw. She's where I get my talent from. Now, after my parents divorced, we moved back to the United States, and I went on to graduate from Cleveland Heights High School, then on to college at the University of Akron. Now, in preparing for tonight's presentation, I realize I have had three defining moments in my career. Two happened when I was very young. The first during a presentation in the sixth grade when I heard what a career was. Now I ignored it because all I was good at in the sixth grade was lunch, recess, and art. I couldn't even think about what a career was. The second time was in the 10th grade when a teacher said, "Hey, you're kind of good at design. You should think about doing this for a living when you get out of school." And I quickly told him, no one's going to pay me to sit around and draw letters all day. I kind of shrugged it off and thought that, I need to get a real job. But after class, I ran down to ask my guidance counselor if he was right. And she proceeded to give me a ton of books about what was called graphic design. And that's when it clicked for me. The decisions I made from those two moments have given me a great career. I was the graphic designer for Cleveland Public Schools, the City of Cleveland Division of Water, the Department of Public Utilities, and a few other places. I even designed a few projects for the mayor's office. It was a lot of hard work, but I loved design, so I continued expanding my skill set and taking on different roles. I began networking in CDPUG, and I even started my own design studio named Energy Impacts, where I got to learn a lot about the business of design. Now, as much as I love designing for a living, the politics at the school districts were taking its toll on my creative spirit. So when B3, Barbara Bird Bennett, as you know, announced that all staff were to spend 1 hour a week at a school working with students, I was glad to get away. So for 1 year, I taught Photoshop to a group of students at the Cleveland School of the Arts. 2 years later, one of the kids saw me at Tower City and told me he got a job from what I taught him how to do in Photoshop. Now I congratulated him, but all I thought was, wow, I taught him something. So after that, I started doing more. I volunteered at portfolio reviews, I mentored, I started training student interns. By that point, every parent I knew was sending their kid to talk to me about what it was to be a designer. And then one day, I looked up and I had 16 mentees. Even though my life and career were very dark at this time, mentoring gave me my light back. The only problem was my mentees' stories were riddled with personal, academic, and creative struggles. I felt compelled to do something for them, and this is what began the route to my latest defining moment. I loved my work, but I realized I didn't like my job, and the only work I was doing that made me happy was mentoring. Now, during my networking, I met people from the Organization of Black Designers, and they strongly suggested I think of graduate school as a way to redirect my career. So in 2012, I applied and was accepted into the graduate program at The Ohio State University to work on my MFA in Design Research and Development. Having just now completed my first year, I can honestly say I love going from a design doer to a design thinker. I highly recommend higher education for all creative professionals. My area of focus looks at the lack of diversity in design disciplines, and my research question asks what are effective tools to expose African American and Latino youth to design-related careers. I will conduct a case study and a series of interviews and surveys, all to analyze the data to determine what is the influencer to becoming a designer. Now, after my thesis, I will create a series of educational materials specifically for inner city African American and Latino youth. Now, the numeric data I have collected for underrepresented populations thus far is embarrassing low. Only 1% of all architects are Black. Only 3% of all design educators are Latino, and only 15% of all design practitioners are African American and Latino. Now, this chart demonstrates those figures. This summer, myself and several others will be discussing the need for diversification in the design industry at the Weapons of Mass Creation Festival on August 15th, 16th, and 17th. I hope you'll join us there. Thank you very much.